When I got married, I figured I had set myself up for life. I had met the girl of my dreams. I couldn't be happier, and everything seemed to be lining up in my favor. The dream went on for about 5, maybe 7 years. There were some bumps along the way, but still in a pretty good spot. You know, you never expect it to be perfect. But then one day you wake up into a nightmare and you realize that maybe this isn't going to work out after all. Maybe it's going to go sideways. So you do everything you can to prevent that from happening, because the last thing you want is to let this dream end. And God knows, nobody wants to get back out there and start dating again. Talk about your worst possible scenario. But it does. When you realize that it's over, really over, it's actually happening. It's like you're standing at the abyss, staring out into the darkness, not knowing what's ahead. It can be pretty daunting. Sometimes you feel like maybe it'd be better just to disappear altogether than to try to live this life. Starting from scratch at the middle. Starting from zero at the middle. Ah, what a nightmare. Well, I'm here to tell you it's not like that. You can turn the abyss into a clean slate. And that clean slate is just begging for you to fill it with your dreams. Today I'm going to give you the 10 steps that I use and I think will help you achieve just that state of mind, where you're no longer staring into this darkness, but you're eager to start filling in this opportunity, this blank slate, with whatever dreams you ever had for your life. So let's talk about it. Life 1.0 is the algorithm that gets us started in life. It's when we follow the path laid out before us by all those who came and recommend and actually direct us to go down. This is the path that includes getting an education, getting a job, finding a partner, getting married, buying a house, having children. You can fill in other blanks here, but we all know exactly what it is. It's what they tell us is going to bring us to some state of happiness or contentment in our lives. And I think for some people it probably does. But for the vast majority of people, it's just an excuse for not having any creativity with your own life. People are trying to give you the safe way, trying to show you the best way forward so that you don't make any mistakes. Well, you're going to make the mistakes one way or the other. Life is about mistakes. But Life 1.0 has some baggage that it brings with it. It brings the stress of having to perform. It brings the anxiety of trying to achieve someone else's dreams. When you're, if you fail or you're struggling, it can bring guilt and shame. So it brings a lot of unnecessary, unpleasant baggage with it. Life 2.0 is different, because all those people that were trying to get you to live your life the way they wanted you to live it, they're not in your life anymore. Or if they are, they don't play nearly the role that they did. So today, we're going to talk about really how Life 2.0 gets started and how you take it to the next level. The first step, and I've talked about this in a few other videos, is acceptance. And I know it sounds really simple, straightforward, but it's not easy. Accepting what is when you're facing something that's unacceptable is really, really hard to do. But it's critically important that you get to that place where you realize this is happening and there is no way around it. You must move forward through this nightmare. You've got to push forward through it. There's no backing up. There's no going around it. You know, every part of you is going to want to find some other path. You're going to want to renegotiate. You're going to deny it. It's like dealing with the death. You go through all those steps of acceptance, and yeah, it can take a while too. It can be months. It may be a year, maybe longer. But whatever it takes, it's what it takes. You've just got to push yourself through it. Once you get through your head that the girl that's leaving you right now, the person who's leaving you right now, is not the person that you married. And that makes it a little bit easier, because I think we still reflect back to when we were in that dream state with them, and we're always imagining how wonderful it was and how blissful that experience was. And from that, we take our visions for what the future were back then, and how wonderful and blissful we imagined things were going to be, and how this can't possibly be the reality that you're living in. Once you let all that go and you realize this is the reality that I'm living in, she is not the person that I started my life with. She's not the woman that I dreamt of. She is someone completely different. Then you can let yourself off the hook to some degree, and you can turn away from what was and start thinking about what's to come. Because the longer you spend in that state of regret, looking back or trying to renegotiate or whatever, the harder it's going to be to move forward. So number one, acceptance. Not easy, it's pretty a simple, straightforward thing, but it's definitely not easy. So just get ready for a rough ride on that one. Number two, you must get into a state of appreciation for what is. It's very easy to allow your mind to go to all these dark places and to have all this negative energy associated with what's happening. And that's totally normal and natural, but you've got to break that as quickly as possible. And the best way to appreciate that, or the best way to break that, is through appreciation. And it doesn't matter what you're appreciating. Just anything in your life that you can look at and be thankful for is there. So for me, just walking through these woods allowed me to get into a state of appreciation, because I enjoyed the aesthetic beauty of it, the sounds of the birds, the trees, the water, the whole thing. And I thought how lucky I am to live in a place where I have access to this. And once I got into that place, that state of appreciation, then I could extend it to other aspects of my life. I could start to appreciate my clients. I could start to appreciate my family. I could start to appreciate the dogs. I could appreciate my home. I could appreciate my lifestyle. I could appreciate the fact that I'm healthy. All these things, they seem like you take them for granted now, or maybe you do take them for granted. But when you're facing, something that is so difficult emotionally and psychologically to deal with, and you are finding yourself getting lost in this darkness, this depression, this anxiety, whatever it may be, being able to grab onto and focus on those things that you appreciate puts you in a much better frame of mind. Because appreciation is a form of love. And when you start thinking about those things that you appreciate, you're really thinking, I have a little bit of love for this. I have a love for the woods. I have a love for the dogs. I have a love for my family. I have a love for my clients. It's all different, but it's definitely a loving energy. And once you start putting that into your frame of mind and into your stream of consciousness, the fact that your wife doesn't want to be with you doesn't really matter anymore. The wonderful thing about appreciation and love is that these are things that can only be given. And so the more you give, the more you get. There's this law of reciprocation in the universe. You can call it karma, whatever you want. But it is undeniable, and it works all the time. So whatever you're putting out is what you're going to get back. I guarantee it. I know it sounds like some kind of a woo-woo thing. It's not. It just frickin' works. Get yourself into a state of appreciation. Start loving the people in your life. Start loving the things that you have. Start really getting yourself into that thankful place. And yeah, you can't go wrong. You're going to pull yourself out of this really, really fast. Number 3 is a little more tricky. It's about attachments. And I know that sounds like some kind of woo-woo stuff there, but it's pretty straightforward. Psychologically and emotionally, we identify with certain aspects of our life. One thing, just as an example, would be like if you had a beautiful car. Let's say you had a Corvette or a Porsche or something like that, and you thought that car gave you some personality qualities. It made you feel like somebody, made you feel like you were somebody. And that car gets blown up, and the insurance is not covering it. So it's a total loss. It's gone. It's gone. The pain that you feel from the loss of that attachment, from the loss of that thing, that's your attachment. That's what you're attached to. That's the pain that you're feeling from that. So anything that makes you feel a sense of loss or pain or discomfort is usually where you're going to find your attachments. Fear is another place where you're going to find your attachments. And the reason why you need to start identifying them and getting rid of them is because they are going to distract you from becoming your best self and trying to live that better life. Your marriage was an attachment. That's one of the biggest attachments anyone has. And the sooner you let go of that and what that role of being that husband, that father, whatever that was in that relationship, whatever that role was, you have an attachment to it. It was very important to you. The pain that you're feeling as a result of the ending of this relationship has a lot to do with your attachment to it. So when you start to feel that pain, that sense of loss, that fear of the future, all of these things are attachments. So you really need to become aware of when you're experiencing these things and stop and give some thought to why am I feeling this way? Because once you stare these attachments in the face and you start to get familiar with who they are and what they mean to you, you can start dismantling them, and they don't have power over you anymore. These attachments will pull you around. They will distract you. They will take away the joy from your life quicker than anything. So pay attention. Watch out for these emotions. Look them straight in the eye and figure out, why am I having this, and is it valid? Chances are it's not. Chances are this is just some kind of construct of your mind, and you can destroy it, let it go, and move on to the next thing relatively quickly. Number 4 is forgiveness. Forgiving yourself first. You got to forgive yourself for getting yourself into this shitty situation. Yeah, you can blame her all you want and whatever, but at the end of the day, we all do the same thing. We all come down to questioning whether we are worthy. And that is your ego talking. That's an attachment. It's like a crazy idea. Am I worthy? Am I as good enough? Am I as good as other people? What's wrong with me? Why am I not succeeding? Why is my life doing this? Why is this happening to me? All that crap. You just got to start forgiving yourself from it. It's meaningless. It doesn't matter. Things happen. Life is a classroom. Shit happens. You learn from it. You move on. You've got to take that attitude. But you've got to start off by forgiving yourself. And then at some point, you're going to have to forgive anyone and everyone attached to them causing you pain. You're going to have to come around to that, because if you carry around a grudge to your ex-wife, to her boyfriend, the guy that cheated on her, with her at work, whatever. If you carry a grudge, it will destroy you. I promise you that. I've seen this happen on several occasions where people held grudges and they inevitably turned into alcoholics, and they died, or they got cancer, or they got heart disease, and they died so much younger than they should have. And they just held on to this grudge like it was a life preserver to them, like it was the only thing that gave their life meaning. And in the end of the day, I swear to God, it killed them. So you just got to let go of the grudge. You've just got to let go of that. And the only way to do it is through forgiveness. Now, you don't need to trust them. You don't need to invite them back into your life. Hell, you don't even need to tell them that you're forgiving. That doesn't even matter. This is about you letting go of the negative energy you have associated with that, whatever that is, with them, whatever they've done. You've got to see them just as human beings out here in the world, screwing up just like the rest of us. And so they made some bad decisions. That's their karma. That's their life. They've got to deal with that. Your mission here is to move forward from it. And the only way you can move forward from it with a clean slate, to get out of the darkness, to get out of the abyss, is to forgive yourself and to forgive everyone else that you think may have wronged you in this situation. Number 5 is you have to develop an internal locus of control. What that means is that you are not looking outside of yourself for happiness or validation in any way at all. That you are the source of your own happiness and validation. You are living your life subjectively. You are the only judge. You are the only one who can determine whether your life is going well. And so when you shift that locus of control from the world, everyone out there, to in here, now you are playing by a different set of rules. You're playing the game on your terms, not on theirs. And when you make that shift, it's like magic, because now you realize that you are in control of this thing and you can begin to live your life the way you want to live it, authentically. So long as you're looking outside of yourself for anything, for happiness, for joy, for validation, for any of that crap, they own you. They own you. They own you. They control you. Same thing goes with the attachments, and I'm going to just touch on that again, because beliefs are a big part of attachment. With all this political discourse that we're experiencing right now in our world, if you find yourself getting triggered by any of this stuff, triggered by people on social media, getting triggered by the news media, that is an attachment, and you've got to let it go, because it is meaningless. We give things meaning in our lives. When we withhold the meaning, they're pointless. They have no value. Just let it go. That internal locus of control, you are deciding what you're giving meaning to. And you're not going to waste your energy giving meaning to things that are meaningless. Do you know what I mean? Things that you don't care about, things that you have no desire for. Just get all that crap out of your life. All right, now we're starting to turn the corner here on number 6. This is when things start to really come together for you. And that's developing a vision for your new life. Through that internal locus of control, and you're deciding, how to judge, you're the subjective judge of this life. You get to make the decisions about which direction you're going to go. So now you develop this vision for what it is you want. You start to imagine what it's going to look like in 5 years. And this takes some time. Don't rush through this. Don't just jump to some conclusion. Oh, I'm going to be rich and I'm going to have a girlfriend and I'm going to live in Monte Carlo, whatever. But start to really draw a picture of your life and really let it sink in. And when I say draw a picture, I mean memorize it. Don't just have an image and let it go. No, I need you to really develop a vision and memorize that vision and make it as detailed as you can. I would even take some time to write it down so that you can relive this vision repeatedly. Because the stronger you hold this vision in your life, the more likely it is that it's going to happen. If you just have some passing thought, oh, maybe one day I'll do that, or maybe one day I'll do this, it's weak tea. It's not going to get you there. You're going to have to actually commit yourself to a future. You're going to have to really drill down. What do you really, really, really want? Because you can get that, but you're going to have to really, really continue to want it. If you just think about it once or twice and let it go, it ain't going to happen. But if you really drill down on it and you say, hey, I really want to live this life, then you can make that happen. And yeah, that's where the fun really begins. I don't know if you guys can tell, but the sky is getting dark. I keep checking the weather app. I keep saying I got another hour or two, but I was out here walking a couple days ago and it said I had time and it just rained on me. Anyway, number 7, now that you got your vision, you gotta build a plan. The best way to build a plan to make this vision 5 years from now come into manifestation, to make it actually happen, is you've got to start with from the end and work your way back. Imagine each step that you need to take, and then think, what's the first step I can take now in the direction of that vision? It may take time for that to come about, but what's the first thing you can do now to make that outcome better, more possible, more likely? And again, I would write it down. Start creating milestones for how you know you're getting closer and closer to whatever that vision is. It may be that you need some financial milestones. It may mean you need employment milestones, whatever it is. You may need to move. I don't know. It's your vision. You figure it out. Figure out what the milestones are. Map them out and decide what's the first thing you can do now to get a little bit closer to that. Number 8 is another shift in mindset. It's recognizing that this moment that we are in right this second, is the only moment that really exists. And I'm going to get a little bit philosophical here with you, but it's only the present moment that exists. So looking back at the past and reliving that, rehashing all that shit from whenever, is pointless. It has no meaning. Let it go. It's not going to happen. Worrying about the future is a waste of energy. There is no value in worrying about the future because you may be putting energy into something that will never happen. It's like dying 1,000 deaths when you just know you're going to die once. So just don't worry about the future. We all know how this ends. We all die. Don't dwell on it. Don't dwell on those things. Don't dwell on anything that isn't happening right now. In this moment, you're safe. You're happy. You're content. You have everything that you need to achieve the things that you want. Focus on this moment. Because when you're in this moment, you have power. When you are focused on the past or the future, you are giving up that power to change your life, to change your experience. So stay here, stay now, and keep your head in the right place. Don't get distracted. Wake up every day with that sense of appreciation and that positive mindset just for having the opportunity to take a breath right here and right now. Just wake up every day with that positive mindset. Appreciate everything that's happening in your life as it starts to happen, as it unfolds. Even when things go a little bit sideways, stupid shit happens, just little bumps in the road. Give them less and less attention. If you get yourself triggered because of stupid shit that happens in your life, you're going to see more stupid shit happening in your life. Allow yourself to not get triggered by anything and just have this positive mindset about every day, appreciating the opportunity just to take a breath, just to be here, just to be interacting with other people, just to see the sun and the clouds and to be a part of this experience and just truly absorb it all and create a sense of just a positive, healthy mindset and hopefulness about your life. And when you're in that state, well, you just can't have negative things happen, Even when something negative happens, like I have this little tiny dog you guys really don't know. His name is Rascal, and he's dying. He's like 15 or 16 years old. He's got diarrhea, and I don't need to go into the details, but it's been a rough couple of days. a lot of diarrhea. He sleeps in my bed. You can just imagine, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, this poor sick dog having all these problems, and I'm having to deal with them. So don't get triggered. It's just life. You just gotta let it go. You just gotta let it flow. And when you're in that state of mind, those little things don't destroy you. They don't own you. So don't allow those things to throw you off. And then number 10, you've got to get into a state of self-improvement every day in every way. You're trying to become better. It sounds like a chant. But really, physically better, mentally better, emotionally better, psychologically better, intellectually better. Grow. Be smarter. Read books. Watch documentaries if that's what you like. Expand your mind. Spiritually stronger. I don't know what your faith is, but drill down on that. There's some opportunity there for you to become more grounded in your faith. Physically, middle-aged people, you know, in America, we all tend to be pretty fat. So get in the gym, go for walks, get a bike, do something, make yourself healthy again. Create a routine where you just do it automatically. I know in the beginning it's tough, but you just start doing it. You know, you just start doing it every day or 3 times a week or whatever you think you need to do to get to where you need to be. But just do it. Improve your diet. Don't allow yourself to go down that path of relying on junk food or alcohol or drugs or any of that other crap to make you feel better. Internal locus of control. You decide how you're going to feel. Don't let external stuff control you. Food, alcohol, drugs, all that shit is external locus of control stuff. Don't allow it to have control over your life. You own it. You decide. Be the person that you want to be. So these are the 10 steps. This has been the journey of my last 5 years. This is not a journey for weak people. This is a journey for strong people. This requires inner strength to commit yourself to it. The vast majority of people are going to crawl into the fetal position and they're going to cry and they're going to suck their thumb and they're going to blame everything on the rest of the world. And I'm saying that metaphorically. When you see someone who's pointing out at the world and blaming everyone and everything around them for how badly their life is going, that is like an infant throwing a fit. That's basically what it is. Those people need to come around to the idea and the understanding and belief that they are responsible for their own experience. And until you accept responsibility, yeah, you're that crying baby. You're blaming mom, you're blaming the weather, you're blaming politics, you're blaming the Russians. Who knows? You're blaming somebody. It doesn't matter. The Chinese. Who knows? It doesn't even matter. All that external stuff is a distraction. It's all bullshit. You got to get yourself out of that. Accept responsibility. That doesn't mean it's your fault that these things happened. It means that you can respond to it. That not only can you, you must. You must respond to it. Because if you don't, they will destroy you. These experiences will own you. Your experience will be dark. It'll be that dark abyss that I talked about at the beginning of the video, you know. And you have the choice by taking these 10 steps, taking responsibility, clearing your head of all the negative energy, and looking at this opportunity as a blank slate rather than as this dark, cold place where life has, you know, kicked you in the nuts. So anyway, that's all I got for you today. I know this has been a long video. I hope you find it helpful. If you have, you know, please, you know, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. If you know a guy or even a woman that's going through some problems or struggling with their post-divorce experience, please share this with them. Hopefully it'll help them as well. Anyway, for all you guys like me, guys and gals like me, and you're midlife and single, I think that we've all learned enough. I don't want to learn anything else. So stay healthy, and if you can, stay single.